Caleb, let's have some fish together.
You call that a fish? This is a fish!
Caleb, the size doesn't matter. About the fish.
Call of the Wild! The Angler
is an open-world fishing game simulator.
This is from the developers of the Hunter, Call of the Wild, but this time instead of a gun, you have a fishing rod, and you start in a massive map called Golden Ridge Reserve, which in all of its lakes and rivers and inlets has 21 different species of fish.
But there are 3 different maps, paid DLCs, where you can get 15 to 20 new species and to explore new lands like South Africa, Spain, or Norway.
So as you're going through these maps, there are some story missions to kind of get you started. It's not so much about the story though. There are some characters, but a lot of the story missions are like sending you to find different like invasive plants and things like that. It is about going to streams and lakes and rivers and finding fish. And the mechanics of that are pretty, it's not a like extremely realistic game. You're not waiting for hours for a fish to bite, but the mechanics of the rod is pretty realistic. It's the first time I've seen it where you like move the mouse forward,
like freely,
like you're actually like casting a line instead of just clicking a button. And once you hook the fish, you have to be very careful about line tension. You can even use this kind of mechanic from real life fishing of like pumping the fishing rod, of moving the rod in, then reeling in and pumping it again, which really feels like you're pulling in some monster fish.
But this game gets really complex because there's so many different kind of rods, reels, lines, lures, hooks, baits, floats, jig heads, or soft plastics. And you got a really useful handbook where you get to keep your trophies, or a map where you get your markers and you can place them any way you want.
And much like other games from Expansive Worlds, the developer, real life experience does help. It definitely does help to know what type of bait or lures attract which types of fish. You don't need that information, you can learn it, but it does carry over from real life experience. As you're going through the map, fish respawn daily, and the type of fish and the size of the fish, if you're going for those gold and diamond level fish, it is actually related to the depth of the water, the elevation, the temperature. So really trying to create this diverse living world of fish.
And you will travel not only on foot, but on boat, of course, and even off-road to go between places. And you don't have to be alone because you can go online, play it with friends with up to 12 players. It's a big open world, so 12 players, including you. You can fish together, and the question is,
should you fish it? But first, you should know that The Angler is going to be completely free from the Epic Game Store for 1 week starting March 21st, 2024. You'll have 1 week to add it to your library, and then you can go fishing whenever you want. That is what we do on this channel. We play and review every free weekly game in the Epic Game Store, even before it goes free, so you know if it's worth your time. So if you subscribe, you will never have to be bored ever again.
Something maybe we haven't said exactly. It's on the same engine as the Hunter Call of the Wild. That's why the game is beautiful.
It is.
And outside of fishing, it can be enjoyed even as a relaxing game with an open world, a different kind of environment, even though on the same map or DLC in the different countries. It can be just walking simulator with sometimes just getting a rod and try to catch a few fish. Fish is not the thing I like to do in my games a lot, and this is focused on fishing. But I think this one is good if you either really like relaxing games, or if you're a fisherman yourself, virtual one or the real one, because you can really visit some of these. It's not exact real places, but it's inspired by the real nature from these countries. So yes, you should play it now, definitely, when it's free, either solo or online. Maybe if you find other people. Now when it's free, it's even better to try to play it with other people who also enjoy fishing, because virtually you can actually talk to each other and still not distract the fish.
That's the nice thing about virtual fishing. So I agree with all of that.
Thank you.
But, spoiler alert, I have to admit, this game didn't hook me.
Okay.
See what I did there?
Yeah. Maybe
someone had to do it.
You should use different bait then.
That might be. If you're fishing for a Caleb, then you should use different bait instead of fishing, because this is a very that was a very complicated metaphor. This is very personal, but all reviews are personal. It's based on the opinion of the reviewer. I'm not a big fan of fishing in real life or necessarily in games. It is a shame because this game is beautiful. It is fun to explore. The fishing mechanic is kind of engaging, but the things that I miss is that I was not really engaged and inspired to keep trying to get a bigger fish and different fish. I wish there were more types of fish. I wish there were more areas to unlock. It starts as an open world pretty quickly. And so it is supposed to be relaxing, but I think maybe for me it was too relaxing, and it's just like you go and you throw your line in the water and you catch fish.
Yeah.
If that sounds appealing to you, that's great. You're going to love this. It's fantastic. It did not, as I said, it did not hook me though. So I think if you're a more traditional gamer looking for some more action, you should look elsewhere for your action.
I mean, I'm not going to continue playing this game because it's not my type of game either. But when I see a good game, I can recommend it to everyone. But of course, I am more like into shooters. So if you are as well, maybe you will like the original, the first game, theHunter, Call of the Wild, which was also free from Epic. So.
This one I liked, but I had more of a feeling of adventure and action and kind of excitement.
In there, you're being hunter, and being hunter and fisherman is quite a different.
It's very, very different. So if being a hunter sounds like more your thing, then check out our review there, and we'll see you in our next video.
See you. Bye.